All right. Brown Balls Podcast. We are back. How you doing, man?
It's raining, bro. Need some chai.
Yes. It is a rainy weather out here in California. Luckily,
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm always home, but you had a day off too. Usually a national holiday.
Thank
We
God.
avoided all the
Thank
flooding
God.
that was happening out there, man. Holy moly.
Hell yeah.
But yeah,
Gosh, it
dude,
was
so a lot
horrible,
of
man.
things-
Like I was like, holy shit. Like
Yeah.
I was saying, like, holy shit. It was like pretty bad out there, man. But go ahead.
Yeah, it was. No, I was gonna say a lot of stuff happening in sports as well. We had the NBA All-Star Weekend. It was a hit or miss, depending on how you look at it. And then we have some updates on the MLB and a couple of minor updates on NFL. But let's just start with the NBA All-Star game itself. What were your thoughts, man? So this was a round robin kind of thing, right? They had the all I guess US team split into two factions, one with like the OGs, I guess, and then one with the new blood. And then you had the world faction as well. I thought the format worked really well. It was very interesting. It was very competitive. Wemby came out and really set the tone. Like you can tell he wanted to go 110%. He was blocking shots. He's playing defense. And then because of that, everyone started playing. So it was I thought it was a very fun thing to watch, honestly.
You know, man, honestly, first of all, I want to give Wemby all the credit, man.
Yeah.
He set the tone. He's bringing back that energy that was lacking, that defensive intensity that was missing. He brought that in, not during the game, but talking before the game, meaning like they had like presser like the day before or 2 days before prior to it. And he was talking about the fact that, I want, when I play, I want to play seriously. I don't want to joke around, I love the game of basketball and I'm not there to just play for fun. I want to get there and give what fans want. I want to be serious about it, play defense, play offense and everything. But even dating back to the prior week, the last week when they played the Lakers, that's when Lakers had all the starters out and they killed us. And I think at one point they're up by like 35 or 40 in the end of third, beginning of fourth quarter. They're up huge. And Wemby, after the game, he asked about that. How did it feel to sit out the whole fourth quarter? He's like, to be honest, I was actually asking the coach, can I go back in? And I wanted to go back in. I know we were up by 40, but it wasn't to score as many points or do anything. But I play every day. I want to go out. I don't want to sit out, and I want to play my regular minutes. It's not about putting up 50 points against the Lakers or beating them by 50. I want to play my regular minutes. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to if we're up by 30 or 40 and sit out the fourth quarter. That's not what I want. That's what he said. I love that actually, because to be honest with you, fans paid a lot of money to watch, stars. And even though Lakers stars were all out, Wemby still played, which was great. So then, a few days later during the presser for All-Star game, he said that I want to bring that, that energy. And, he did. And he's taking it seriously. And he also talked about how, right now LeBron is basically, on his way out and there's no clear cut face of the league. And he talked about how, supply and demand, he's like, I'm here to offer all the supplies there is, and basically stating that, look, I know the supply is low right now. And so I can create that. And I don't mind being the face of the league, which is great, because you got to understand, Kobe set the tone when he came in 96, right? Remember when he played against Jordan in 96 or 97, whatever the All-Star game was? And he was a rookie, remember? And they all made fun of like, oh, that rookie's after you, And Kobe played seriously. He guarded like Jordan like it was like a regular game. And so he set the tone. So that's what I'm saying. I love Wemby's attitude, man. That's great. Yeah. He's not like a LeBron taking it for fun or this or that, or like Steph Curry taking half-court shots. Because, to be honest with you, I don't know what your take is, but I love it. But I also want to I know who ruined the All-Star game. It's what Durant said is kind of correct. It's not all European, like it's not like Jokic and Luka, but it's also like Steph Curry and LeBron as well too, because they're the ones who start taking the half-court shots for fun during the All-Star game. They're the ones who actually made it seem like okay, it's okay to have fun.
Blame LeBron for that. I fully blame LeBron for ruining it. Yeah, good, because ever since he's been going there consistently, he's the reason why everyone kind of plays chill and everyone has a great time and they just mess around the whole time. And that, I guess that's how LeBron's not doesn't have that killer instinct or I got to prove you I'm the best, whatever. He doesn't have that kind of mentality. That's what Kobe has. That's what Michael had, right? That's why I was so competitive. And Wemby has that too, right? Wemby wants to go out there and prove himself. And you can tell when they missed that or when they made the 3-point shot to win the overtime though, first to 5.
buzzer beater.
He was upset
Yeah.
because he's like, why are we not letting just let him have the 2 point? Who cares? Like we can win with a 3 because they were down they were up 3-2 and then the 3 won in the game. And you can tell like he took it seriously because he was actually very upset at the fact that they should have let the guy take the 2 point shot and then they can go down the corner and win the game. So I love that honestly, and I'm glad Wemby did it, and even Ant called it out too.
Yeah, it's so funny because I mean, it shows that even NBA players are humans, right? The IQ is so little because like all you gotta do is just guard the 3-point line. Don't worry about the 2. Let them have a layup. Let them have the layup, But yeah, I get it.
Exactly. So, and Anthony Edwards said too, like, as soon as Wemby came out, he set his tone. I knew I had to lock in, and he played hard too. Like, I give Ant props too. Like, it wasn't just one team trying hard and then the other team not. Like that Rising or the Stars team really did also show up too, and you can tell like against the Stripes team with KD and LeBron, like they tried as well, and obviously they won the game, but Kawhi just kind of went nuclear, and then obviously they got blown out in the final game. But I fully commend Wemby for setting the tone, and I think somebody who was it? I think it was I forgot who it was. They said that Giannis tried to do the same thing when he first got into the All-Star game. He tried to set the tone. He was trying to be aggressive, and then everyone made fun of him. Like, why are you trying so hard? I think LeBron was the other one. Like, why is Giannis? Why are you trying so hard? What the hell are you doing? It's the All-Star game. Don't play too hard. And so that's why he kind of backed off. And at that time, he was trying to be the same kind of like aggressive player, but no one would let him do it. This time, Wemby was like, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna try my 100%. If no one else wants to join me, then whatever, I'm still gonna go out there and win because that's what I'm gonna do. Like he was very adamant that he's gonna go there, no matter what people say. He's gonna be there present.
And the difference between Giannis and Wemby, man, the reason why people didn't take Giannis seriously because Giannis was like late, like I think it was 13th or 14th overall pick or something, and it took at least few years, like almost at least 4 years to kind of become who Giannis is. 4 or 5 years, become who Giannis is. And Wemby right away was the number 1 overall pick. People knew who Wemby was. When people knew Wemby before he even got drafted because of his talent that he had back, home, And also coming into the league, people know, and like now he's putting up numbers that people are respectable for, So that's why people like when Wemby came out with that, the authority, and he's like, all right, the game on, And so I'm glad, man. I mean, this is what All-Star game needed, Play defense and be serious. You don't need scores 200 or 250. You don't need that kind of type of scores. Right. That's stupid, you know? You want to be competitive and play defense. Like, I love the fact that the first game went to overtime. The second game was a game winner. And then obviously the third game wasn't that great, but still, like, it worked out well, So, and I just think that I wish they would have brought that same type of, energy when they had East versus West, because you can actually play 4 quarters instead of only having 12 minutes of each team, Right. It's kind of hard to set rhythm and all that stuff, So, and also you can tell like the OG All-Stars were tired and they got blown out by the young All-Stars, right? And so they got to fix, they have minor tweaks. I like the format, they should keep the world versus the regular, but they should tweak some stuff where they can give, team who just played back-to-back, quarters a rest, like, because that's what ended up happening. The OG All-Stars beat the world. Then the OG All-Stars still continue to play. Then they moved on to the final, I think. Oh no, sorry. The OG All-Star played the young squad and they beat them. Then right after that they played the world, and then they played the young All-Stars against for the final. So 3 quarters straight, and they were beat. They're tired, man. And so you can tell the last game wasn't even close. That was the only bad thing about it. That they should have had some, like, they should have like a rapper come and perform like Luka, like they did the night before, or somebody come perform, have that like 20-minute break or 30-minute break they need, So they need to do something, man, because they were tired, man.
Yeah. Which at the same time, like, I didn't understand why Jokic and Luka didn't play a lot. They played the first game a little bit, but they didn't really play at all. It's just because they were injured.
Luka was coming off an injury, right, with a hamstring,
right? And so was Jokic, right? Because Jokic didn't play the same amount of minutes.
Credit because Luka was not supposed to play at all. But Luka didn't even play the last week.
Yeah.
But Jokic came back and played the last week, right? But then also Jokic, probably didn't want to play much because he's coming off an injury as well too. So I'm glad both of them at least showed up and played. I mean, I'm glad, I mean, I'm more happy about Luka. Luka still has that Kobe mentality that, hey, look, my injury isn't that serious. I know I haven't played for the Lakers, but I'll come and show my face and play like few minutes, which was great, and so that's great.
Yeah. Which I don't understand why Ant said that. Oh, Luka and Jokic aren't going to play. All that kind of. I'm like, yeah, they're coming off of injuries. I don't. They weren't expected to play, right? Like that's. I don't know why he
Exactly.
dissed them for some reason.
I like Edwards, man, but he has that LeBron mentality, like passive aggressive. Like, so they asked
Yeah.
him about, hey, like LeBron's kind of out the door, and he did this in the playoffs too last year. I'll recap it, but last year in the playoffs, when they faced the Lakers in the first round, they asked that, oh, you beat number 3, Lakers. How do you feel about your team? And then he kept on saying that, oh, we're not supposed to win today. We're not supposed to move on,
Yeah.
like we're not
Yeah.
supposed to do this, And then when they beat the second team, right? Or we're not, like Golden State or something, we're not supposed to be beating them, we're not supposed to be here. Like passive aggressive, like we're not supposed to be here. So fast forward to the All-Star after he won the MVP, and he had a conference, right, with the media. They asked him that, hey, LeBron's kind of out the door, steps out the door. There's no really face of the league right now. Would you mind taking that? And then
Yeah.
his answer was like, well, that's what Wemby's here for. Yeah, Wemby wants to be that, because he heard Wemby say that. I want to be the face of the league, He's like, that's what you have Wemby for. You don't need us. Like, why are you so passive aggressive, man? Like, like it's good to be asked that question.
Right.
Go ahead.
He's almost kind of butthurt because they don't give him the credit. But then they asked him last year, "Oh, do you want to be a face of the league?" And he's like, "I don't want to be a face of the league. I don't want that responsibility." So like when you're given the opportunity to be the face of the league, you say no. And then when somebody else says, "Oh, okay, I guess I'll take the handle," you're like, "Oh, well, I guess he's the best player. And why are you even talking to me? He's the best player." It's like, dude, pick a side, man. Like either you say you're the best and you take ownership, because during that not last year's playoff, but the playoff run before that, when they played against the Mavericks in the finals and in the West Conference finals, like that was his time to take over and take control. And they asked him, and he's like, "I don't want to be the face of the league. That's not my thing." He's like, "Okay, then shut the fuck up." When you ask the same question about Wemby, like Wemby obviously wants it, and he's doing a damn good job. He's like by far the best player in the league right now if he's healthy, by far.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
100%, dude. 100%.
yeah, I just don't get it. But overall, again, the game itself was really good. I wish it was in a different arena because I don't know if you saw, like the attendance was very bad. Like
Well,
they had the lights on to kind of hide it, but then like half the stuff, like you can tell all the seats are empty. And I know they were charging an arm and a leg for this ticket, like $7,000 for nosebleed. They're out of their minds, I don't know what kind of like, because it was a good game, but then in a crappy arena and trying to fake it that there's a lot of people, and they even put like fake like audiences or whatever noise, but that wasn't there. It was weird.
Yeah, I mean the main thing is they did this is a horrible advertising. Why would the game start at 2:00, not 5?
Yeah, that too.
Every year it started at 5.
Yeah.
I miss Saturday's game. I miss Saturday's, like, honestly, I legitimately love watching 3-point contests, and I look forward to skills competition. Those are fun to watch,
Right.
And I missed it, because it started at 2. And then, I was like, all right, cool. Let me just double check about tomorrow's game, meaning Sunday's game. It should be 5:00 because that's when normally it starts, 5:00. No, 2:00.
Yeah.
Why?
Weird.
Why are they doing that? Like, I don't get it, man. It doesn't make sense.
All right, I forgot where we were. Where were we at?
Anthony Davis talking about. I mean, Anthony Edwards talking about face of the league.
Yeah. I don't get that guy. But again, he won MVP. I give him that. He definitely showed out, and that was a really good game. But let's talk about Saturday. So you're right. The scheduling thing was weird. I randomly turned on Peacock like middle of the day. I'm like, let me just see what's on, and I see that the NBA All-Star game was already starting at like 12 something in the PST, and I was like, this is so early. Like I didn't think it's going to start now because I know it normally starts at nighttime. And then so it had started early, and then I watched it. Besides 3-point contest, like honestly, everything else was so useless. Like 3-point contest was good, but that dunk contest with our boy Max Christie.
Dunk contest always useless. So dunk contest is always useless. Tapis, it's always useless.
Yeah,
I don't know why they even have that.
Why didn't they bring Mac McClung back? At least that kid could do something. He's entertaining to watch.
Oh, you know why? You know why, right?
He's a G League, right?
Because the reports came out that because he won, like, I think 2 years in a row or 3 years in a row. I don't forget how many years he won in a row. And they said, I guess they got the insights that if he came back, and NBA players will not participate.
What the heck? Why?
Because they're getting embarrassed by him, right? He's not an NBA player, and he's winning it left and right.
But at least it's more entertaining. What of the crap we just saw? Like Jesus. Like, they should just get rid of it.
That's why he posted like 4 dunks that he would have done. Well, that's why he posted 4 dunks that he would have done. You know, but that's the reason he wasn't invited back because
behind the back off the backboard that he dunked. I was like, what the heck? That was sick, dude. Would love to see that.
Yeah, that's why NBA players were scared, man. They didn't want to face him again. You know, they're losing, so that's why. Which is horrible.
That contest was so stupid to watch. Yeah, pretty much. I think once I saw the lineup, I was like, and then, but I'm glad that Dame won. That was really good. I like the deep three.
Dude, Devin Booker had a chance to win that shit, man.
He missed 4 in a row, dude. That was crazy. He was way ahead.
He only needed 1 to tie, 2 to win. Tie to win. That's all he needed.
Yeah, and he was on fire. He was doing way better than Dame was. And he missed the last 4, which is insane. Because I think even Dame thought, okay, I lost. You know, he's in the last row. It's all money ball. I'm probably gonna lose this. And then Devin couldn't hit it. But
so I guess overall, next year. Yeah. No, I was gonna say next year. I think Dame said that he wants him, Steph Curry, Clay, and Devin Booker.
That'd be good.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I don't know why didn't Steph play this one? Is it because he's injured too? Just didn't want. I mean, because Dame's still really playing.
He's injured.
Yeah, but Dame's not really playing. He's still
but Steph got injured. Yeah, but Steph got injured like a few weeks ago, and he should be coming back, but he didn't want to participate. He took his name out.
That's fine. But all in all, I'm glad the All-Star Game format change is definitely much more entertaining. Now it's got to fix Saturday. Though, man.
The timing sucks.
The timings have got to be better.
Yeah,
way better. Is it because of the Olympics? They didn't want to interfere with the Olympic schedule. Probably.
That's what they're saying, but it doesn't make any sense. If they were gonna change the timing like that, they should have promoted it so much. Say that, hey guys, that is 5 Eastern, not 8 Eastern. It's 5 Eastern. You know, so it gets people. I didn't even know about it, man, until I turned it on. Same. I was like, what? It's already. I turned it on for a pregame show.
Yeah.
And it was already. It was a 3-point contest. Like what?
Yeah, same, exactly.
And then I was like, maybe they're showing last year.
Yeah, I was like, maybe. Well, I want to catch some pre-games. That's why I turned on at noon, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, we're already in the 3-point contest and dunk. I'm like, I just missed the whole celebrity game. I missed everything. I'm like, okay, well, yes, F me then. Yeah, they gotta change that. That was ridiculous.
What is your take on Ron Harper, man?
I missed it. I know there was a headline about him saying something about LeBron about him not raising Bronny, right? Or something like that, right?
No. So basically, one of the games, right? There's 3-point contest, then there's skills competition and dunk contest, right? So in skills competition, they change it up every year. I don't know why they do that same shit. They change it up. So this year they had 4 different teams representing different people, right? So for San Antonio, it was Ron Harper and 2 of his kids. I didn't know his older son plays for Boston, I guess G League team, and the younger one was a number 2 overall pick, right? Dylan Harper, who plays for San Antonio, right? So all 3 of them were together, and then New York had Allen Houston, had Towns, and Burnson as one of So what ended up happening was there was 2 other teams as well too, but New York squad won, right? And then I guess after that they had presser, and they asked Ron Harper that how do you feel to be on the court with your 2 kids? Have you ever dreamed of that, And instead of answering that question, he goes off tangent saying, look, I'm not LeBron. I don't push my kids to play, I don't care what they do, I don't need them to be on the court, he just took a shot at LeBron. And I'm just like, that's kind of uncalled for. Look, the one thing I have learned, I don't have kids at all, man. I don't have kids, so, and hopefully I do soon. One thing I learned is that you can't criticize another parent, on what they're doing with their kids, and right. that's like a big no. You don't say that, especially, okay, you can probably talk to your wife about the other people, how they're raising their kids, but you can't tell media how the other guys raising their kids, that's a big no. You don't do that. You don't criticize someone. I mean, as much as LeBron gets backlash and everything, I give him credit for, I'm sure he didn't force 2 of his sons to go play NBA. I'm sure they saw his dad, becoming this famous and being this good that they wanted to follow his footsteps, It wasn't LeBron like, hey, play, I mean, their kids, probably genuinely wanted to play, And so for him to come and just take a shot at LeBron for no reason, say that, hey, I'm not LeBron. I don't push my kids to go play,
I mean,
what's that thing? Even Dylan Harper.
Good.
No. Before just last thing, Dylan Harper was embarrassed. number 2 overall pick. If you see his reaction, he was embarrassed. He's like, "Come on, Dad, don't say that. Like, that's uncalled for." You know. So, but go ahead.
I agree that is very uncalled for, especially on a public stage. You can say that behind door. You can say that in an interview, maybe when there's a one-on-one. That's fine, but not in the middle of the freaking post presser, right? But at the same time, he's not wrong. That's the thing. It's uncalled for, but he's also not wrong. And I agree with you that no one should teach or no one should say anything about how to raise your kids. I 100% agree, especially as someone who has a kid, right, or a kid. But there is a sense of like I think a lot of the parents feel the same way. LeBron forced Bronny into the league. The kid has no reason to be in the league.
Yeah.
He should be even Matt McClung deserves to be in the league before Bronny does, right? And I think that's what a lot of people are getting frustrated with. Like, why does this guy have? Why does it LeBron have a chance to have Bronny in the league, right? I think that's the reason why. So what he said is not wrong about Bronny, but as it is at a very poor taste. It's the worst time to say it. That's all I'm saying, right? But that's interesting.
I agree.
I didn't see that part, honestly. I saw the funny interaction between Jalen Brunson and his dad about how like, I never have fun when he's around, which I thought was awesome. And then Allen Houston was lighting it up too. That was fun to see. I used to watch the '90s basketball with Allen Houston and Charles Sprewell and Larry Johnson, that New York Knicks team. It's always fun to watch. So seeing him,
Ron Harper,
he still had a beautiful shot that he has still. Man, it was good to see that. That was a flashback for sure.
I liked it, man. I liked it. Which is great.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, so I hope they do that again. That was fun to see. But they really gotta fix the dunk contest. Just make it, if anything, because these NBA players don't want to play, right? And they're not very creative with their dunks. None of them were really creative. So might as well just have a bunch of professional dunkers out there and see, and that would be a real because when you get a 50 and all you do is alley oop out the backboard, you're like, yeah, but that's the best dunk we've seen so far. But it's not even that impressive compared to what other people can do, right? Like Matt McClung and even like Jay Rich when we were growing up, right? Or Zach Levine, right? Like all those people had very creative dunks, and those are the true 50s that should be held to a higher standard. Not these. I'm gonna bounce off the backboard and do a weird under the leg thing. I don't know what that was. So
I agree.
All right. Yeah.
I agree.
So what else? I know you had something else for the NBA too. What was it?
LeBron versus Luka. This is why I took my bet back, my bet back, because I'm getting to your point, bro. Like I'm just can't stand LeBron and Lakers, man. It's gonna be he knows he's out the door and okay. So let me recap. All right. So Luka's been out with an injury, right, and for a week or so, and we played OKC last Monday, I think Monday or Tuesday last, and we lost a close game to OKC. A reporter asked LeBron that, where do you see yourself?
Alrighty, we are back. We've been having some technical difficulties, so we have to wait a day to finish our thoughts. But let's just pick up right where we left off, and that is around what you were talking about yesterday. We're on Luka versus LeBron and the team chemistry and dynamic of everything. What were you saying?
Crazy, man. So Lakers played OKC last week. I think it was Monday, if I'm not mistaken. And basically, Luka didn't play that game. Luka's been injured with a hamstring. So we lost a close game. And, after the game, some media folks asked LeBron that, hey, how do you fare up against, a team like OKC you just faced? Mm-hmm. And, how you measure up to the elite Western Conference teams, And his answer was kind of surprising. He's like, are you telling me to compare us to the OKC? And they're like, yeah. It's like, you're comparing us to the championship team, OKC. We're nowhere near a championship team, if that's what you're trying to get out of it. And that's the team that's won a championship and is the championship team currently. And we're nowhere close to that. Okay, that's fine. Everyone has their own opinion. Fast forward to All-Star break, when Luka was doing his presser, Luka was asked something similar about, going forward for the second half of the season with about 28 games left or so for the season, and asked about, what do you think about the current construct of your team right now for Lakers? And Luka's answer was complete, opposite. He's like, we have a chance to win the championship. We're built for it. We have that. So as long as we're healthy, we'll be fine, Yeah. And it shows the direction these two leaders are taking. And I understand, like, if you're not a championship team, I get it. But, I mean, the way I look at it, man, is that you are a top 4 team in the West, top 5 team in the West, which is a brutal conference to be a top 5 team compared to East. And there's no, I mean, besides OKC, and they have their struggles. I mean, you shouldn't count yourself out. All being healthy.
Right.
Lakers were the only team last year that actually had a winning record against OKC. They're the only one team that actually beat OKC last year, like handily at home. At one point. So I mean, we're talking about this year. So if LeBron thinks they're not a championship team, that's fine. He shouldn't say that out loud as a leader, because you want to give confidence to your bunch. And LeBron's always been that. He's always a guy that makes the right move, right pass. Before the game-winning shot, he'd rather pass the ball up. He has always done it. And, but now he doesn't want to, right? He wants to just bring everyone down, right? I mean, look, the way I see it, man, is I've been around NBA so long, for like the past 20 years, by looking at it, man. If you're the best player, especially in the NBA, man, if you're the best player, you're basically going to have a chance to win,
Yeah.
Unlike any other sport. Baseball, you can't have a best player. You need a team. Football, if you have a quarterback, I mean, only Tom Brady has kind of done it, But but I mean, if you can look at it, you need a good offense and a good defense for football as well too. Basketball is like the only sport where a leader, like like a main player, like Jokic did it in 2023 when they won the finals. He was the best player. Kobe has done it in this past. If you're the best player, you're gonna have a chance to win. So Luka is the best player, and for him to say that we're not a championship team and you're number 5th overall right now in the West, you're about like 11 or 12 games above 500, which is fairly fine. Which is good. But and then Luka on the other hand saying that no, we're built for a championship. I mean, he's like, I'm confident. In what direction we're going in right now. I don't know, man. That's going back to, what I said 2 weeks ago and taking my bet back about Lakers making the finals or not. Look, I have all the hopes. I'm always optimistic about Lakers making the finals. But, what you said before, and, I harp on it again, that, LeBron is like a cancer, right? He's a cancer right now. He's cancer to the locker room. He's bringing everyone down.
Once he's checked out fully, then it's like he's like a whiny kid. Like he doesn't care, like he's just gonna be like, oh, yeah, we're not good. I don't think we're gonna be legitimate this year. Blah blah blah. Like he's just gonna, because A, he knows he's not the number one option in his team, and B, because he has no power in the Lakers anymore, right? The power was given away once Genie Bus sold it. All the power was gone that he had, right? So I think he's just kind of being a whiny little player about it, which he did the same thing when he was in Cleveland trying to get out and all that kind of stuff too. So, this is why I think the team will get better once he's gone. He's just been a very much toxic figure in our locker room. I think even if, and I follow the Lakers social media, right? And all of the players, like they do these little silly games. They're always like hanging out. They do funny TikToks. And who is never on those funny TikToks? LeBron. He's never in it. It's always Luka's in it. Reeves is in it. Like Vando. Like they're all in it, right? But it's always LeBron that's never in it, because you can just tell he's just not engaged with the team, and that's fine, right? He's gonna get his money and he can walk away. That's totally okay. I just don't want this to be like a whole, especially in the off season. I don't want the Lakers to like, oh, is he gonna stay? Is he gonna go? What are we gonna? No, just let him walk. Thank you so much. Here, have a great day. You were never a true Laker, and have a great rest of the career. I think that's how it should be, because it's a wasted 1 year prime of Luka. This year is, right, because of LeBron. So it sucks, but
I agree, man.
again, as a Laker fan, I just can't wait for the day when he's finally gone. It's sad.
And like the reports that came out today, I don't know how true the reports are that came out today that Lakers are interested in bringing back LeBron. I don't know how true it is. I think they just don't want to burn bridges with him.
That's where I have the issue, right? As a player, he's fine, but as your second option and the second highest player in your team at $50 million, like you need to produce more. And again, I am all about the whole narrative. He's 40 years old. He's doing all. Yes, great. But he's not an effective player for our team to build a championship with. He's just not. He's putting up the numbers. I give him all that, but he's not really helping the team with anything. That's my only issue with LeBron.
Right.
So
no, exactly.
That's my take.
And an exact quote, I pulled it up. So Luka was asked on whether the Lakers championship chances. His quote was, "I think we can do it. We have a team for it." you know.
Mhm.
So basically, you know, he believes, man, you know. And then on the other hand, you have LeBron saying, "Nah, we don't." Like, okay, that helps,
I mean,
man.
because I
Helps a
think
lot,
with
you know.
Luka's been there, right? Luka's been to the final with a team that's may not look like a championship team on paper,
Had
but
no
with
business.
him, right? With him, he can carry that team to the championship, right? And that's what he's probably referring to as well. Like he's like, I've been to championship with not like the best team in the Western Conference. They were not right. The Mavericks when they weren't the best team at the
No,
time. There was
yeah,
Nuggets in them, right?
they're number
But
3. They were number 3 at the time. Yeah, number
yeah,
3 at the time. Yeah,
so, like, but he still
yeah,
got there. I think that's his perspective, right? But he needs to have LeBron be like Kyrie, right? Like being that kind of second, like I'm gonna let you do your thing first through three, and in fourth quarter I'll take over. Like LeBron could do the same, or vice versa. Like LeBron could be like, I'll take care of
exactly,
us the first 3 quarters, and Luka, you come in fourth, and you dominate,
exactly.
and we win the game. That could be it, but LeBron's not
Yeah.
willing to do that.
It's funny. LeBron's been bitching and moaning of how, like, passing the throne, right, to Anthony Davis, and so for so many years. For the past 3 years, he wanted to pass the torch to AD to control the team, be the offensive leader, take so much, take so much off his shoulder and carry it, And he finally has a guy named Luka who can do it,
Mhm.
And honestly, I'll be honest with you, man. I know you're gonna laugh at me, but the fact of the matter is that Dallas team that went to the finals and this Lakers team, if LeBron can play what he can play like, as a second fiddle or third fiddle. I think this Lakers is better 1 through 3 than that Dallas was 1 through 3. But that Dallas was better from 3 to 15. Then this Lakers is better than 3 to
Yeah, they had
15.
deeper
If
bench.
that
Yeah.
makes any sense, because
Mhm.
exactly. So, like, think about it. Like, Lakers has LeBron and Reeves. I mean, come on, with Luka. I mean, dude, that's a really good freaking trio right there. And I
Yeah.
mean, compared to that Dallas team that went to the finals, only had Kyrie as your number 2, and the number 3 just drops out. Like anybody can be good. Like that. I mean, if
Did they
hindsight,
have
if you look at
Brunson
it,
at that
Lakers
year,
have a
or
better team.
was Brunson already gone?
No, 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 no. It was gone. It
He's
was gone.
gone
It was
already,
gone.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Brunson was gone 2 years ago. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So 2-3 years ago. Total of
Yeah.
3 years ago. This is third year in New York. So, but
And
yeah, man,
and
it's
and
crazy
I
here.
think and the main thing here is also like the coaching. I don't think Redick has a good grip on this team. I think he's a good coach for younger players who are developing, but not a good coach that can give stars feedback, especially LeBron. Like you have to be able to keep LeBron in check, and he hasn't been able to do that. None of the coaches in LA have been able to do that. I'll give you that, right? None of the coaches in LA have been able to do that. But I think that's what people were hoping Reddick could do. That's what he's trying to distance himself from. Like, I'm not. I know we had a podcast, but we're not really that thing. But he just has not been able to keep LeBron in check, And I think he's also very buddy
Exactly.
because he played with Luka, so he's very buddy with him too. But I think
Exactly.
everybody else outside of those two, he's a little hard on them and he's developing them. But the actual people you have
Yeah.
to, hold accountable, like Tom Brady of the world, or even like Tim Duncan, right? Greg Popovich can give the same feedback to Tim Duncan that he gave to Manu Ginobili. That's just how it was.
Exactly.
But he can't do it with LeBron, or Luka.
Yeah, man. Which is
So,
crazy, man. So I was like, gosh. Let's see what happens with this, Yeah, I'm still Luka's healthy, and we are Reeves, man. It'll be great, Let's see.
yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens with LeBron. I mean, I don't know if you look at the odds so far, man. They're saying that Cleveland is the highest odds of landing LeBron, which is obvious. I mean, I feel like he will retire after Cleveland. And I mean, to be honest with you, LeBron loves jumping the ship when to win a championship. So Cleveland does have a good team right now, But Cleveland can't really sign him outright. They have to do a sign and trade, right? Because they're already cap hold high, So
they get rid of,
which is funny.
What's his name?
Jared Allen. I'll look to take Jared Allen. I would love to take Jared Allen on our team.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That would be a good move.
That would be a great move, bro. Great move. So,
yeah.
But yeah, man. But another thing I want to talk about for the NBA, man. What's your take on Adam Silver talking about the tanking? That's been a big issue.
Yeah, I didn't catch it. I caught this stuff on the Clipper stuff, but what happened with the tank? What was his comments on tanking?
He said that, look, I have noticed that this year, it's been very obvious that teams have been taking, and they're trying really hard to tank. It's understandable why that's happening, but at the same time, it shouldn't be happening. And he said that there's a couple of directions we could take, and he actually said that if it becomes really hard, we can make we won't have a draft. We'll have all the rookies become free agents.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what?
Wow.
You can't do that. You know, I mean,
That was something
all
that
the
some
rookies
other
become free agents.
person on First Take also said, like, oh, get rid of the draft and everyone just all the rookies can go to whatever team they want to go to, and then that would make the organizations be like, oh, we're a good organization, we can develop you, blah blah. But like that's dumb. Then you're making it really a players league,
I
which
mean, look.
I think none of the owners want that. You know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so I mean, I don't know, man. I think for him to say that, man, I think it's insane. And then, like, I mean, look, F is there for people who can't really, you know, who doesn't have a cornerstone franchise player or who doesn't have a team to compete. So the draft is there to like kind of, it's like getting a loan, right? Like, okay, we're giving you a chance to bring your franchise back up, have someone like you can sell your tickets to, your jersey, your merchandise. I mean, teams like the Lakers, Boston, and all of them, they don't need that, you know.
Right.
And so, I mean, for him to say, "Oh, we can make them free agent," that's no.
As a
I
dumb.
mean,
Yeah.
I'm all about like teams. I'm all about teams who are suffering, who need a star, you know, like OKC
Right.
did. You know, they already got theirs, and like, you know, like there's some teams out there that are still trying to find their identity, like New Orleans and stuff like that. You know, I mean, look,
Yeah.
the easiest thing they can do, man. I mean, there's few ideas that people are throwing out there that, you know, the teams that don't make the playoffs, make it a like a tournament for them, you know, towards the end of the season, who wins the most game. That still doesn't help out, because if you put teams who don't make the playoffs, who are like 1 through 14, and you put them in a tournament, obviously the 14th seed is gonna beat the number 1 or horrible seed,
Right.
you know. I mean, the 14th, the worst team, is still a better team than the worst team, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, the way I see it, man, is that, look, you know who's tanking. It's gonna be the top 8 teams usually, you know.
Mhm.
What I would say is that anywhere from 1 through 8 make the same odds. You know, so there's no tanking.
Yeah.
There's no there's a preference of getting that number 1 seed and having that better odds. You know, having that 28% instead of that 1 through 8, all same odds. You know, doesn't matter where you are in your 1 through 8. Everyone has the same odds to get that number 1 seed, number 1 pick.
Yeah.
You know, and
I
that's the
agree
way
with
to eliminate it. Teams got to play. You know, so I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
What's
I
your
mean,
take, man?
I like the idea a lot. I mean, especially when it's like the Jazz, where it's like it's an obvious tanking. Like they're up by, I think they're like up by, what was it, like
Yeah.
4 or 5? Or no,
17.
Yeah,
There's
17.
up by
Yeah, and then
17 through the
Markkinen
fourth
and
quarter.
Triple J
They're all
sat
set.
out the hole, and they even asked like, "Oh, can we go in?" Or they asked the coach after the post game, like, "Oh, were you even considering?" He's like, "No, I wasn't considering putting back in." It's like, dude, you know, you were up by 17. You have these 2 players that were not injured, and then you do them and put them in the fourth to intentionally lose the game. Like that's the most obvious sign that you're tanking. I think those specific, like, this is where like David Stern would have whipped out the craziest hammer on these teams that are obviously affecting the brand. You know, like if you're a Jazz fan, how do you feel about that? You know, you're like, oh, you know, we just got Triple J, you know, and we're making these big moves, and all of a sudden we're still tanking. Like, what's the point? You know, what's the point of enjoying these games? And I think for Adam Silver, obviously, I think I saw a headline that a lot of the gambling companies are getting on about it because they can't. If the teams are going to intentionally tank, they're going to ruin the odds for some of these games, right? So some of the gambling teams are also getting on it. And another issue he has, it related to gambling, tanking, all that kind of stuff, is that he's being investigated by Congress for all of these issues with gambling too. The NBA is being investigated not just for the Kawhi Leonard thing, but also for the gambling issue and this and all this stuff. I mean, tanking is also a part of it too. So he's got a lot of issues on his plate that he needs to really sit down, either resign or lay the hammer down like his predecessor did. David Stern, he wasn't the most popular commissioner by the players, but he did grow that league. You know, he made the league very marketable and very watchable because you had that like sense of like, we need to do our best no matter what, because David Stern is going to get on our ass about it. And you know, I had heard
Exactly.
he was very loud. He was like all this stuff. I get all that. You know, not the most pleasant person to be around, but that's how you grow and hold people accountable. Adam Silver is just like, oh, we're just gonna be friends, guys. We're all gonna be friends, right? We're doing a good job here, right? We're doing a good job. We're growing. Yeah, we're growing. No, you're not growing. Like the ratings are down. I just don't know what he's doing with the league, which sucks. You know.
I mean, I always told you, man. I mean, I hate saying it, man, but like, he's not a good owner. I mean, good commissioner. To be honest with you, yeah. I mean, he's not doing the right way. Like, I mean, if you know, like last week, that fight that broke out against Charlotte and Detroit, and what's his name, Isaiah Stewart. He was a repeat offender, and he only got 5-game suspension. 5-game suspension when you had I don't know if you listened to Game Time or not Game Time, but I forgot the podcast with Michelle Beadle and Lou Williams and Chandler Parson. I forgot their podcast, but Boogie Cousins on it usually too, and they're kind of taking like they're going round robin and asking, oh, how long you think the suspension will be? He's like, look, you can't leave the bench. That's like a big no in the league. They always tell us don't leave the bench because they will come hard at you. And he's like, look, he knows Isaiah Stewart really well too. He's like, look, I don't want him to be labeled, but he's a repeat offender. So he's like, I feel he's going to be gone for 20, 25 games. And I agreed with that. He's a repeat offender. He's not a first-time offender or second. He's a repeater. And so this has been – and he came out of the bench, and he actually laid a punch.
Yeah.
Like, he connected too. And so –
it's crazy.
And he only got 5-game suspension, man. Like, what is that? Like
Exactly.
that should have been 20-game suspension right there, man. Like, like what are you doing? So going back to Clipper thing, like Pablo Torres has found out more and more stuff about Clippers, right? In like recent days, he said it, and I want to see what Adam Silver does. Look, you can I'll be honest with you. You finding these billionaires it's not gonna hurt them.
Yeah,
they're billionaires for a reason. They're rich for a reason. That's like me saying if I park in a handicap, it's gonna be a $200 fee, and if I'm in the rush, I'm gonna park in the handicap.
Yeah,
it's $200 to me. That's not gonna hurt my wallet, man. To be honest with you,
right,
you know what I'm saying? But if I would have got a ticket for it, a citation for it, that hurts me.
$2K.
You know what I'm saying? But $200 fine, I don't give a shit. I'll pay that. Okay, fine. I was in rush. I had a park. I'm good to go, right? But if that goes on my record as a strike one, then I'm like, oh hell no,
Right.
So I want to see what Adam Silver does because look, finding Steve Ballmer, like you can find Steve Ballmer like $500 million, and he'll be like, okay, fine. I'm sorry, $500 million. Here you go. But what's gonna hurt him is when you take his draft picks away, when he can't rebuild the team. Because obviously you're hurting his business, right? So if like I was told you in the beginning of the season, if I'm the commissioner, if you want to come hard at it, you should take his draft picks away for the next 5 years. Then Steve Ballmer will realize that what he did with Kawhi Leonard was wrong, or do what you did to Donald Sterling, take the team away from him.
Yeah,
one or another.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do that, but I do think the draft picks is one, especially now that the Clippers are rebuilding. Like now is the best time to take the picks away because he's just got all that stuff for James Harden and everything. So it'd be the perfect time. But I think he's really hoping that this is a past issue, all this kind of stuff. But Pablo Torre is finding more and more things. I mean, this I give him all the credit. Like I know he's going against the grain, all these things, and he's doing the best journalism, which I wish we had more in the world. Like that's kind of but like. It just seems like nothing's gonna happen, which is the case for everything nowadays. But especially with the NBA, like they're just hoping, okay, just let it go away, just give it another season, and it'll pass. And that's what he's really hoping. But who the heck knows what's gonna happen, man? I mean, he needed to do something right away. There's substantial proof that Steve Ballmer was involved, substantial proof, and yet he's just trying to be like, again, maybe he's trying to cover his own ass. Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? So maybe he's also involved in this too.
And this happened in September, right? And my profession is audit. I'm an auditor.
Yeah.
It doesn't take 6 months to do an audit.
No.
Especially if you have the findings right in front of you. And the legal team they hired is internal legal team. Not internal, but it's a legal team that they use for, NBA and the teams as well. It's not an outside legal team, so they should have done that. They should have used an outside legal team. Right. They don't use have a very like third person opinion on what's going on, and not bringing a legal team that works with the NBA. That's the dumbest shit ever. First of all, I mean that's already inside right there.
We get ourselves when we're innocent. Like that's okay. Yeah, sure. Of course you're gonna say that. Yeah, so you investigate yourself.
And he doesn't take like freaking. We're in February, man. Almost end of February now, right? This happened in September, man. It doesn't take 5-6 months to still be going on this shit, man. Yeah. There's reports out there. There's paper trail everywhere, and they can't come with a conclusion still.
Come on. It's he knows more, and I think it's because maybe there's a part of it that he also allowed, or maybe somebody from his office allowed. So that's why he's just trying to like. Okay, we'll get through it. And then it's also Steve Ballmer, which is the richest owner in sports. So like he's also like pressure him like, dude, you can't do anything here, But again, Congress is apparently investigating this whole thing as well. Who the heck knows? But yeah, this is Adam Silver. After I don't know how he still has a job after all this tanking ratings, no one watching the games. I was like, just dude, how do you have a job?
I agree. That's it's horrible. What's your take on the suspension, man?
Which one?
Of the fight,
the players,
the fight, Detroit and Charlotte fight.
Oh, that was the weakest.
Yeah, like what do you think about that?
Are you kidding me? No, that was so weak. I mean, dude, freaking what's his name? I mean, it's not like the bad as Malice and Palace, but like this was actual severe blows. Especially Isaiah Stewart being in the bench, he should have gone for the rest of this season. I don't know how he got 5 games. Like literally, people have me. Draymond Green got like 10 games for like kicking someone in the nuts, and right. I mean, he got more than he didn't even punch somebody. He just kicked him in the nuts accidentally. But like, still, I don't know how it's possible that this is the kind of suspension you put out.
It's sad because that Indiana team was the best team from get-go, and that was only like early in the season. It was like, I think it was like a month into that season, and they're the number 1 team with Reggie Miller on it. If Adam Silver was a commissioner, Ron Artest could have just been suspended for only like 10 games, and they would have had him in the fold. And they would have won that championship, dude. So I was like, dude, what are you doing? You took a championship from Reggie Miller and all those guys, man. It's insane, dude. It's insane.
They were contenders. I mean, I remember the podcast with All the Smoke with Steven Jackson apologizing to Reggie Miller.
They all got suspended. Jermaine O'Neal, Steven Jackson. Ron Artest got the worst for the whole year. Steven Jackson was out for like at least 20 games. Jermaine O'Neal was out for at least 20 games. Like, it was insane, dude. They didn't recover.
Yeah. I remember him apologizing, like Reg, and I know we actually had that year. We were the best team in the NBA. We were the youngest team as well, and we ruined it for him. And Reg is like, I don't blame you guys. You guys are my brothers, but like that they were a scary team, no doubt. Yeah,
they're loaded, man. They're loaded.
Adam Silver is just making a lot of interesting decisions right now. I compare it to other commissioners like Roger Goodell, like who's actually growing his brand and has a balls to own up to his own like word, like especially after all the Bad Bunny crap that he got, he's still like, I don't care, we're still doing it. I don't give a shit. I'm still would not have done that. Oh yeah, sorry guys, we'll get somebody white to do it.
Yeah, we'll change it up. He's weak, man.
Like all that kind of stuff.
He's total weak.
But let me get your thoughts.
Let's change gears. Go ahead.
What's up?
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask you. Let me get your thoughts around this whole KD and Burner thing. Did you see this stuff?
Yeah. I want to talk about that. I do want to say that. Thank God you brought that up. I was gonna miss that, dude. That's it's so stupid. Why? So he called Devin Booker and Frank Vogel Stalin and Hitler. You hear about that? And then he called what's his teammate? Sheesh, what's his name? Oh gosh, what's his name for Rockets, man? What's his name, dude? Called his weak like soft
Parker.
No. Let me see here. What's his name, bro? He called Şengün something funny too. That's hilarious. It's hilarious. I can't stop laughing about this burner accounts that he has. But dude, honestly, if you're KD, why would you even do this though? Why would you even like have this going on? Like why? Like why does it even matter to have burner accounts? Like I don't understand.
He's why are you so player ever, dude? He's so sensitive. Everything, he thinks he's really, really hard and like somebody who's like, a killer in the court, whatever, right? But he's the most softest, sensitive player there is, man. He's always on Twitter, right? But the fact that he has to make a second account to like back himself up and go against the trolls and everything, like you could just tell he's just completely a sensitive player. And I mean, he's talking shit about the Houston Rockets. You just got there.
He called Şengün a fat slob. He called Şengün a fat slob.
I mean, come on, man. I get the Suns was a disaster. Jabari Smith. Yeah. I mean, I get if he's gonna shit talk the Warriors. Okay, fine. Draymond was an idiot. All that kind of stuff. I get. I mean, I think he also called Steve Kerr something too. And I get the Suns. That was a really bad decision for him too. But the fact that you just got to this team and you're already complaining is ridiculous to me, dude. Ridiculous. He's already out on the Houston Rockets. Like I think he tweeted like I want to get the hell out of here. Like, dude, we're not halfway through the season. You already want to leave. What the hell? I don't get this guy.
Crazy, bro. I don't know about you,
Or
man,
Şengün,
but
man.
this guy's gonna go down as
He's a solid player,
Yeah.
dude. He's a solid player.
I mean, KD's gonna go down as one of the
He's-
worst, like underrated.
Yeah. He said he misses Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons knew how to pass. Like, I mean, who says this stuff, dude? What an idiot.
I get it, man. That's stupid. That's the dumbest shit ever, man.
God, man. But
I feel bad for
yeah,
this generation,
I mean,
Tappas.
he hasn't
They have
commented
LeBron
anything
and
on it.
KD
I
to
think
look
this is
after.
all allegations. There's nothing confirmed. But I would given again, like his history
No,
with
they-
his whole burner account, right? Was it something official, like that he admitted to?
Yeah.
That I didn't see that.
No. There's reports that came out today that one of the Houston staffer saw him doing this from the burner account, and then the management called him in and confronted him about his burner accounts, and then I guess he got pissed and left the meeting. He was like, "What the hell?" Like,
Oh
yeah.
wow.
There's a report that came out. Like,
Damn.
come on.
Because this all blew up during the All-Star game, which is why he was on his phone the entire time trying to like probably delete stuff and like get his name out of there. Yo. Oh my god.
It's insane, man.
He said Jabari Smith is not mentally. He's mentally. God, freaking guy.
He's retarded.
He's like, this is why MJ punched Steve Kerr because he doesn't mess with the dark skins. Well, I'm like, come on, dude. KD, great. He again, dude. Like,
I don't get it,
I
man.
don't know what it is about some of these players. Like, they're great, but just gotta be quiet sometimes, man. Just gotta be quiet. And this all started.
I don't
This
know
all
why they wanna
happened
be
because
out
of that Israel drone thing. Is why all this stuff started. That one commenter
Oh, really?
asked him about because
Really?
he has a partnership with a company that makes the drones for Israel that they're using to bomb Gaza, I guess. Katie's has a partnership with it. One of the Twitter users asked him like, "Yo, like, are you gonna ever address this? Like, what's up with this?" And then in his burner account is when he responded, and that's when everything came off. Oh, this is I think his burner name was "Get Off My Dickerson" or whatever. That's where it all started, and that's where everyone started digging in. Like, oh, what the heck? And then the same burner account blocked the same people because that's Katie's account, and then the burner account blocked the same people. They follow the same people. Like, okay, this is obviously Katie. That's how it all started.
Wow.
Crazy, man. All right,
Wow.
let's do one more topic. What we got next?
MLB, man.
yeah.
Spring trainings are on the corner. People are reporting. Bryce Harper was asked about Dodgers, and so is Manny Machado was asked about Dodgers. Interesting. I mean, I was surprised by their answer. Manny Machado said he fucking loves it that what Dodgers are doing, and Bryce Harper said echoed the same thing, saying that it's good for the game. Dodgers don't only sign players; they actually build players from ground up. Bryce Harper is very knowledgeable, so he's like he named few players that came out of Dodgers farm system that are currently on the Dodgers that won the World Series as well. So he's like not only do they sign players, but they also build players too, you know. And to be honest with you, man, like players love this because Dodgers are actually going out there and paying. I mean, yeah, they're doing this deferral, but like players are agreeing to the deferrals too. I don't know why they're blaming the Dodgers. We talked about this, a few months back. Dodgers are not even like the highest paid payroll team. I mean, Toronto Raptors were right there. I mean, sorry, Toronto Blues were right there. In the payroll,
they're right there.
I mean, they're paying Guerrero so much. Like, I mean, to be honest with you, before they signed, Tucker, Toronto was gonna be getting him for I think it was about $300 million for I want to say 6 years. Mm-hmm. But Dodgers came in last second and signed him for like 300 something for 4 years or 200 something like that. Give him a shorter year, And yeah, dude, I don't know. So yeah, dude.
Well, I am about the players liking this, but you're right. I mean, the Dodgers yes, they spend a lot, but they're very strategic with it. Like they're not just out there like going crazy. And I think we talked about it last time too. Like the amount of money that they pay versus how much revenue they generate and they put back into salary, like is one of the highest in the game. Whereas some of the other teams, they don't spend a lot, but they make a lot of money, so they just take all the money and put it in their pockets, right? So those same teams are the ones that are complaining it's not fair. Dodgers like, yeah, well, if your team actually, because I think Dodgers put about like 29 and 30% of their actual revenue into the payroll, whereas the other teams do about half of that. So if your team is willing to take less money and give it to the players, then you wouldn't have to, bitch about it. But they don't want to do it. So what? The Dodgers are like, we'll take it. We don't care. But, I mean, if we can make $1 billion and we pay another 500 million to our players, then okay, so what? Like this is how they look at it. But some of these teams, they all they care about is just making money and not spending it. So it's not the Dodgers' fault that you don't want to do it.
And I hate this narrative that Dodgers are going to be the reason why it's going to be a lockout. No, they're not.
Yeah, it does.
They want to blame the Dodgers. No, they're not. Dodgers are not the reason why. Dodgers, like I said, they're not even the top payroll. They're there in the top, but not like number 1 or 2. The other teams are spending money. They're not spending correctly, So it's like, come on, man.
It's
Let's not put it
ridiculous,
that way.
man. I mean,
Exactly.
these teams,
Exactly. And Blue Jays showed it this year, right? I mean, it's not our fault Blue Jays couldn't execute, but Dodgers were on the brink of losing the World Series. They were down the series.
3-2.
They were, last time I checked, they were down 4-3 in the series heading to Toronto. Blue Jays had 1 game to win out of 2. Dodgers had to go 2 for 2, and they needed luck on their side to win that series. So every team is beatable, man. Doesn't matter how much you spend or don't spend. I mean, Blue Jays proved it that Dodgers were almost about to be getting beat by Blue Jays, man. So
exactly, that's the thing. Like we were. Even though we have all this out, we almost got beaten. And I mean, even against the Phillies, it was kind of interesting. I mean, I know we won that like handily, but like there were a couple of games like we weren't really sure how it was going to end up. So
exactly,
even with this loaded roster, it's not like we blew out all the teams. We still had a tough time getting to it. So I don't know, man. Again, if there is a lockout and if they blame the Dodgers, that's the stupidest thing ever. That just means that other owners are just sad and scared because they don't know how to spend money.
Oh, yeah. And then, what is it? One more topic. Tyreek Hills. Where does he end up? What does he end up?
Ooh. Does he go back to KC? They need him, right? You think?
I think so, man. I think he goes back to KC, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Because they need him.
Yeah. And they both need each other, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah, I think Chiefs are probably the number 1 because there's like a bunch of rumors around the Bills getting AJ Brown. I think if they can't make that happen, I think Tyreek Hill would be a good one because I think the Bills really need a wide receiver like a Tyreek Hill or AJ Brown. But I just think Tyreek will be happier with the Chiefs.
Exactly. He knows the offense. He knows the system really well.
And he realized, he made a mistake, right? Chasing money instead of chasing the championships.
He lost 2 Super Bowls.
He lost 2 Super Bowls. And honestly, if he had just taken a $5 million pay cut, he would have won 2 Super Bowls. Like, what's more important? I mean, and he would have been an all-timer wide receiver with those 2 Super Bowls versus whatever the hell he is now. I mean, he chose to go play with Tua and then talk shit about Pat Mahomes. I think that Tua was a better ball thrower than Pat Mahomes, which, again, blow my mind.
Doesn't make any sense, man. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, what do you think? You think Chiefs too, right?
I think Chiefs, yeah. I love AJ Brown to freaking Bills if that happens, man. That'll be great. Yeah. I'll love that, man.
Do you honestly think the Eagles find a way to keep AJ Brown? I just don't see how he stays there, dude.
Too much drama, man. Too much shit, man. They just gotta their season's gonna be horrible if they don't. If they keep bring back the same offensive squad, they'll be horrible, man. So I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
I think that team's gonna get significantly worse. I know we haven't done our predictions yet. Especially with that O-line coach not being there, it's gonna mess it up. That O-line coach is 100%. Right? He's the reason why they were number 1 O-line for the last 2-3 years. And he built that team.
Exactly.
And
I get it.
It's funny. So because of that O-line coach, that's why some of the other big Mike McDaniel, all of them didn't take the job because that O-line coach said, I forgot his name, so I apologize about that, but he said that only he wants to have control over who he puts in his positions. And he wants to be the one to call and say, I want this player, that player, and then even draft positions. Whereas a traditional offensive coordinator is the one that makes all those calls. So he's like, that's my only thing. Because he was there, nobody wanted the job because they're like, why the heck I gotta cave to this guy as an online coach. So they get a random offensive coordinator and then the dude leaves anyways. So it's just such chaos, man. He left anyways. So I mean, I feel for the Eagles fans, and I know they're all like, oh, it'll be all right, whatever. But without that guy, I don't see how they have a good offensive line, especially with Lane Johnson the year. We'll see though.
Jeff Stoutland. That's his name.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so
we'll see, man. But obviously, we'll get into NFL stuff. Yeah, we'll get into NFL stuff.
We have more time for NFL. It's not a big deal. Yeah. Before we
Right.
before we end the show off, I do
Yeah.
want to give you a little it's not a trivia, but it's crazy. So in 2005 and 2006 and 2007. So in 2005, Eagles made the Super Bowl and they lost. I think you've seen this probably. So in 2005, Eagles made the Super Bowl, they lost. In 2025, Eagles won the Super Bowl in 25. Seattle lost in 2006.
Oh,
Seattle
God,
won
here
in
we go.
2026. Chicago Bears lost in 2007.
So,
You think they're
you
going to be
think
the
that
one
it's
that's
gonna
going to be
happen?
the
I am high on the
the
Bears.
color,
Dude. I am
the
high on the
color,
Bears.
the color says it. You called the Bears. You called the Bears being
Yeah.
the second best team. So and the color scheme of the Super Bowl of 2060 has the
Yeah.
Bears color. Just saying, Taffis. Just
Especially
saying,
after
dude.
this year's like Super Bowl preview, they had Seahawks, they had Drake May, and then they had Sam Darnold on the front next to the like that. I think because of that, everyone's like, "Oh, they're hinting the script right now." I mean, you never know, man. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, I am high on the Bears. I wouldn't be surprised. NFC is not a very strong conference right now, anyways.
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, dude, it's open.
So
It's open. So yeah, let's see what happens.
let's see. Holy shit! Oh yeah, that's wait 2007. That's when they had Rex Grossman.
Yeah, they lost the
Oh.
Colts.
Colts. That's right. That's right.
Remember that was the one that what's his name? Devin Hester had a kickoff return in the
Yeah,
first quarter,
game,
beginning
right?
of the game.
Yeah.
The fastest score.
And then they never kicked him again after that. They're like, no, screw this. We're kicking out of the end zone. Screw it.
There's 7-zip, boom, out. that was Peyton Manning's first Super Bowl, I think. Too. He won his first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Which I mean, Peyton, like, he had a rough beginning of his career. Rough.
People don't realize,
He
man.
led
Like
the league
people,
in interceptions, all that kind of stuff.
yeah. People don't realize, like, he didn't win his first Super Bowl until like his 10th year or something for Peyton Manning, dude. So, it's crazy.
Yeah, interesting, man. Interesting.
All right, man. That was
all right,
good.
We're gonna end it there. We'll see you guys next week. Brown balls. We are out.